Built from almost nothing in just 2 years, the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition covered 690 acres on the south side of Chicago. The scale of public interest was enormous. Over 6 months, more than 27 million people visited, meaning nearly half the U.S. population traveled to see these lagoons and statues. It introduced the zipper, the first dishwasher, and the Ferris wheel, a 264-foot engineering marvel designed to rival the Eiffel Tower. The gleaming white exhibition buildings, an entire city constructed from nothing in just 2 years, offered a vision of a safe, orderly future. This atmosphere of technological wonder helped set a tone of optimism that overshadowed the natural caution of the millions of tourists arriving in the city alone. But about a mile away from the fair, at the corner of Wallace and 63rd Street, the dirt and chaos of everyday Chicago continued unchecked. It was here that a doctor named Herman Webster Mudgett arrived in 1886, bringing with him a medical degree from the University of Michigan and a documented history of financial fraud. He operated under a carefully chosen alias, H. Holmes, a deliberate tribute to the famous fictional detective who was then at the peak of his cultural fame. Leading up to the exposition, Holmes spent years constructing a 3-story, block-long building in Inglewood. To the public, it was advertised as a sprawling hotel to accommodate the incoming crowds. The fair provided a steady stream of wealthy, isolated tourists, a population of victims who were far from home and easily overlooked by local authorities. From the street, the building projected ordinary commercial viability. The ground floor housed a pharmacy and retail shops, granting the structure an air of legitimacy. To hide the building's true purpose, Holmes used a strategy of compartmentalized labor. He rapidly hired teams, paid them incompletely, and dismissed them, cycling through multiple crews in short bursts. By acting as his own architect, he bypassed the need for a central contractor who might question the layout. As the pieces separate here, the result of that rapid cycling becomes clear. No single supplier or bricklayer stayed on the job long enough to understand the layout of the structure they were building. The final result was a purpose-built machine, engineered specifically for entrapment and hidden in plain sight. Behind the ordinary wallpaper lay hidden mechanical features. Corridors led to windowless rooms, and standard doors were fitted with locks operating only from the outside. Embedded within the walls were gas jets, controlled entirely from a central panel located in Holmes's private suite. The layout included a disposal infrastructure. Hidden chutes dropped from the residential floors into a basement, equipped with a dissection table, vats of acid, and a large kiln. During the fair, he focused his advertisements on young women arriving from out of town alone. He targeted those with savings or insurance policies, charming them into transferring their assets to him before they disappeared. While Holmes later confessed to 27 murders and claimed as many as 200, the documented record is different. Historians can account for approximately 9 victims with hard evidence. The documented reality is brutal enough. Holmes disposed of multiple bodies in the basement and sold their stripped skeletons to medical institutions like the one shown here. Holmes took the exact ideals celebrated at the World's Fair, efficiency and industrial innovation, and applied them to human destruction. His operation in Chicago ended in the summer of 1894, when he set fire to a section of the building in an attempt to collect on an insurance claim. This map tracks his erratic cross-country flight. After murdering his business associate Benjamin Pitezel, Holmes traveled across North America with 3 of Pitezel's children, trailed by Pinkerton detectives. He killed 2 of the children before the Pinkerton investigation finally cornered and arrested him in Boston in November 1894. The same networks of railways and communication that delivered victims to his doorstep in Chicago were the tools the detectives used to track him down. Justice moved quickly. He was tried in Philadelphia for Pitezel's murder, convicted, and hanged on May 7, 1896. His final request was born of paranoia. He demanded his coffin be buried 10 feet deep and filled with heavy cement, a fact his descendants confirmed during an exhumation in 2017. Back in Chicago, the Inglewood building burned down in 1895. Today, the site is occupied by an ordinary post office. While the fair's structures were eventually dismantled, the innovations it debuted, like the brilliant fluorescent lights seen here, became the new standard for the American city. 27 million people traveled to Chicago to witness the future, but a few of them walked into a building they thought was a hotel and were never seen again.